It's Kutztown Live with Shantae Taylor. Your campus and community issues and interview radio show. Call Shantae at 610-683-4859. And now, Shantae Taylor on Kutztown Live.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's Shantae, and you're listening to the 6th edition of Kutztown Live. I have George Berber-Enna here with me today. He's the VP of Marketing for ACE. How are you doing today, George?
I'm doing well, pretty well. Thank you very much for asking.
Yeah, thank you for coming in today.
Of course.
For those who don't know you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? What year are you? Where you're from?
Okay. I am a senior here. I'm from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, so only like 45 minutes out of the way.
Okay. All right. I'm from the Philly area, actually. And I'm a senior as well. Like I said, he is from ACE, and ACE is in charge of planning all the events here for the university. So can you tell us about the events that are coming up within the next week or so?
Yeah, we have 3 events coming up. This Friday, we have Fall Fun with Gamers. It's basically a tournament style. We'll be pairing with the Kutztown Gamers organization. First, we'll have Mario Kart Double Dash, Balloon Battle, Smash 4, Left 4 Dead, and Dutch Blitz. Those are going to be the tournament-style games. Mm-hmm. Then we have non-competitive games like Rock Band and Dance Dance Revolution. And also we have some board games for those who just want to do that. And, of course, we'll have the snacks and things like that for that event. And that will be on this Friday, 7 p.m. in the Georgia Room in Old Main. Okay,
and Homecoming is coming up next week. So what do we have for that?
So for Homecoming, Adam Devine canceled, so we have to get someone within the next 2-3 weeks, and we found someone. His name is Sean Boat. He's a comedian, mentalist. He'll be performing in Schaefer, of course, on next Saturday at 7 p.m. It was short notice, so we just found anyone, and hopefully this has a good turnout. And of course, for all the events, if everyone just bring their Kutztown IDs for attendance, that'd be great.
Okay, so everything is completely free?
Yeah, for the Homecoming event is free.
That sounds good. This is our last year as a Kutztown student, so I'm looking forward to what ACE is going to do for this year. I know we always have the football game. I'm not sure who we are playing on Saturday. Do you know?
Not
you don't
sure
know
either?
At all. That seems to be the only time I actually go to a football game is during Homecoming. That seems to be the only time is during Homecoming. But I don't know who we're playing. So you're saying that we got a comedian coming in.
Comedian mentalist.
Yeah,
he's like a mind reader type thing.
Oh, yeah, that's something different.
Exactly.
That is
something to mix
different.
it up.
Yeah, and that's at 7 p.m. in the Schaefer Auditorium, everyone. So please come out for that. And can you tell us a little bit about what else is going on?
Yeah, also there's another event. It's called the Immigration Forum. It'll be, I believe, next Tuesday. There's going to be 2 speakers. It's going to be Eduardo Garcia. He's an activist and photojournalist. His work has been focused mostly on Central America immigration and social movements in Latin America. Then we have Amelia Frank Vitel. She's a doctoral student in anthropology whose doctoral projects focus on families of immigration in Central America as well. And her research focuses on the intersection among the war on drugs, organized crimes, and violence faced by undocumented immigrants. Overall, it's just a discussion on immigration from Central America and the history of it. It'll be October 20th at 7 p.m. in MSU 183 in the sub.
Mm-hmm. And the pep rally, they switched it up a little bit this year. I think it's on Friday.
I believe so.
Yeah, Friday. Usually, I think the pep rallies was on Thursday nights.
I think so as well.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit, excited about seeing all the dance teams and I love the pep rally because I get a free T-shirt.
Yeah, they do. And
then I see like all the dance teams. There's several dance teams here at Kutztown. You'll be surprised how many different dance teams there are. It's very there's so many different ethnic teams as well.
True.
So I'm looking forward to seeing that. I actually might record the pep rally for Newsbreak.
Okay, yeah. Good idea.
Yeah, there's usually always one of us there filming and interviewing people there. So I'm looking forward to that because that's on a Friday now. It's not on a Thursday.
Yeah.
See, I switched it up a little bit. And for, future events, I always see an ACE representative in the sub, and it seems like y'all be doing a survey, like conducting a survey, you're trying to gather information for future events. And I completed, one of the surveys, and I said that I wanted to be some sort of, formal dance, kind of like prom, but for college.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So that's what I want to see, but I don't know if it's going to happen. But yeah, so what do you think about that?
I think it would be a great idea. I mean, we've done a ACE formal in the past. I believe it was last year, but it was primarily ACE students there, not really people from other organizations or just people, just general students. But as you mentioned, yeah, we do have a promo table every Tuesday in the sub. It's either outside by the library steps or inside right there by the Bears Den. I'm the one that runs it as well. I also primarily just for the surveys, just to get different ideas for next semester's events, because we'll be planning those within the next 2 to 3 weeks. And as you mentioned, the forum, there's also a lot of other different ideas that we would like to bring to campus, because we try to stick away from just doing the same thing every year.
Yeah.
Just the big ones so you can associate ACE with the big events, of course, but different events just for different people to enjoy as well. So we always do appreciate people's opinions on the surveys. Those are great.
So, like, what types of things have been, like, listed on these surveys, like, that you found surprising?
Some that, like, we haven't done before.
Yeah.
Like the forum I saw, we don't put names, so I didn't know it was you, but yeah, I did see the dance. We also had, like, a cookout that could involve different ethnic groups. I think that was a pretty good idea. Different trips, like to different locations.
Yeah, I did put trips on there.
Yeah, because I know we usually do Baltimore, New York, Washington. And, yeah, I mean, we do sell out all the time, but I do agree we should go to some different monumental places or places that people would enjoy. I mean, within a reasonable distance, of course. And then also there was, like, let's see, obstacle courses. I think that would be a pretty good one. And those are the ones that are kind of just popping out right now. But there is at least maybe 100 different surveys. And we do them every Tuesday, so if anyone wants to give different ideas, we always appreciate that.
So, for semester, like, how many events does ACE do? Like, is it like 5 events per month, or like how do you go about deciding on how many events to do?
It really depends on the locations we can get. So when we, for example, a lot of our events are in MSU 183 because of obviously the renovations in the sub. We don't have that many places to actually do events, so it really depends where we can get them. But the amount of events, we don't have we have it broken down into committees, but not each committee does a particular amount of events. For this semester, I believe we're doing 28 events, so next semester we're probably looking for, again, 25 to 30 events, just to have something at least every week for an outlet for students to do things, especially for those that don't go out to the parties or anything like that. They want to do something more low-key, then this would be more for them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not much of a partier myself. I'm not, to be honest with you. Those days are over. Yeah, I haven't, like, partied since I was a freshman, to be honest. Like, I've been, like, just really chill, laid back. I like little, like, social events.
Well, yeah,
so I look forward to what, ACE is planning or doing for the semester.
Of course, yeah, that's what one of our 3 missions. It's an outlet, something educational, and, of course, entertainment. So, anything we can do to help out these students is what we're trying to strive for.
Yeah, you know what? Another idea just popped into my head.
What do you got?
An award show.
Award show.
Award show that sort of praises or recognizes people of different organizations. Like, I can't think of the topic. Like, it could be music, it could be entertainment, it could be community service, it could be for good GPAs. Like, I'm not sure.
That would be...
That would be great.
That would be... It'd bring a lot of recognition to those that are outside doing their work but don't get much shine. For those that come out of nowhere, then we do recognize them. For example, maybe... I mean, I understand there's, like, a dean's list reception, but for that's the idea, like, you get recognition for the things you do even though people don't recognize them.
Yes.
Which would be a great idea. And then not just in grades, just, like... Because college is more than just classes and grades. It's a lot of extra activity stuff. So that would also be an aspect that would be...
Yeah, it could be like several categories.
Exactly.
Like several categories, I think.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good idea.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to what ACE has planned. And just remember, if you ever need any ideas, just contact me because I have a lot of ideas up here. And I just want to thank you so much for coming on Kutztown Live. And I'll see you later.
Thank you. Bye.
It's Telescopic Topics, a look into the world above us.
Could you imagine the possibility of humans one day living on Mars? Hi, my name is Madison Krauthamel. Instead of moving across country, you would move to an entirely new planet. The idea might seem outlandish, and rightfully so, but scientists have certainly pondered the actuality of this idea. Unfortunately, the atmosphere of Mars is releasing atmospheric gas into space, and scientists are concerned that the loss has affected Mars's climate, liquid water, and you guessed it, the habitability of the planet. To find out why the loss is occurring and the rate in which said gases are lost, Dr. Bruce Jakosky, a professor of geological science, and a team of scientists have put together what is known as the Mars Atmosphere and Volatile Evolution Mission, or simply MAVEN. Launched on November 18th of this year from Cape Canaveral, Florida, MAVEN is the first mission of its kind to study the upper atmosphere of Mars. MAVEN will conduct various experiments from 3 different altitudes above the surface of Mars. 2 of the 3 altitudes will be in the upper and lower atmosphere, where scientists hope to gather samples of the different gases and ions present. The 3rd altitude range will be close to 4,000 miles above the surface. With that height, MAVEN will be able to record ultraviolet imaging of the entire planet. Dr. Jakosky and his team hope these findings will give them a better understanding of the atmosphere and its gases of our red neighboring planet, Mars.
Telescopic Topics, a look into the world above us. Stay tuned to KUR for more telescopic topics, and for more information, or to hear this segment again, click on the Telescopic Topics icon on the KUR website at www.kutztown.edu/KUR. Telescopic Topics is a production of the KU Physical Sciences Department and is recorded by KU astronomy students in the studios of KUR. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Hey everyone, it's Shantae, and you're tuning in to Kutztown Live. I have special guest with me today. His name is William Murray. I met him during the Million Man March in Washington, D.C. last Saturday. It was such a historical event, and I'm excited to have him on the show here today. How you doing, Mr. Murray?
Oh, my dear, I am very blessed. I am very blessed. Like I tell everyone, if I was doing any better, I'd have to be you.
Yeah, yeah, I'm doing great myself. I just came from a little information session earlier, where I met a lot of people in the radio and television industry, and they just gave high school and college students advice on how to succeed in the industry. So I just came back from that. But aside from that, can you tell us about the Million Man March and what were your thoughts on it?
Well, for some reason I was blessed enough today. I was sitting here and it was on again and watching it, and I'm very impressed because for once, all races, nationalities, groups, and all of those that are being treated unjustly came together as one and realized that it's not just a them thing or just a my group thing, that it is really a nationwide problem.
Yes. I was saying the same thing. I loved how everything was peaceful. I loved how people of all races and ethnicities and genders came together for this event. It was so hysterical. It was so peaceful. And I really enjoyed myself there, me being a young college student myself. And I also loved the fact that I saw so many young people there. Like, that was just great to see.
Yeah, that was very impressive. But the atmosphere was one of necessity and of love. It was necessary to be there in support of our people and those others who are being treated injustice, and the love. I mean, just the love that was in the atmosphere was just, you could feel it. You could just feel it.
Yeah.
All those great spirits coming together as one.
Yeah. So, did you have the opportunity to go to the Million Man March in 1995? And if so, how was that experience?
I was
different?
there. I was one of the small organizers of that. Yes.
So, how was the march in 1995 compared to the march last Saturday?
Oh, last Saturday was great, fantastic, and don't get me wrong, but there will never, ever be another march, Million Man March, like the first one.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, I mean, it's hard to put that one in words. It was such a momentous, such a great, great thing to see all those brothers there from all over the country for the same thing. And the love, the brother love. I'm talking about the brother love that was there. I enjoyed the one Saturday, but the one before that, I've never, as many marches and protests, because as you know, I've been an activist now for over 40-some years all over this country, fighting injustice everywhere. I've never felt the feeling that was at the first march. Mm-hmm. But the one Saturday was right there, just a step underneath it. But I mean, it was. I mean, Saturday was just so good to see so many young people who now are realizing the necessity of getting that education, of standing up for your rights, of realizing what it takes to survive, other than being a follower. The necessity for them to stand up and join in and be a leader. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was just so fantastic. You know, I was walking around getting people to sign my shirt from all over the country. Don't care where you were from.
Yeah.
Sign my
signed
shirt.
Your shirt.
Who you were and where you were from, because that's a part of history. I do that almost every March.
Oh, wow.
But I have two that I have standing above them all, and that's the first Million Man March and the 20th anniversary.
Yeah, it was really amazing to just be a part of that. Because, you know, me and my, I guess my group of friends, we all came from Kutztown University. So we actually went to Maryland first, and then we actually hopped on the train to D.C. And like I said, it was just so amazing to see all those young kids down there and all of us just uniting for, you know, a purpose. So I really, really enjoyed that. I really did. And, I wouldn't trade that experience for the world.
You know, here's the greatest fear. Here's the greatest fear of this country. And they have done something that is so unjust, and they waken up the old, the seniors, and they were waking up the young. Mm-hmm. And when you wake up the young, see, they are now, what they fear more than anything else is that out of all of these groups, these protesters, the 99%ers, and the Black Lives Matter, out of the organizations, they are feared most that out of that is going to become another Martin, another Malcolm, another Mandela, and etc., another C. Lewis Tucker, and all the greats. They're feared that out of this is going to become another one of those greats to pick up the mantle and carry it on, because for a while we've been asleep. There's no doubt. Mm-hmm. We've been asleep. We've just been tolerating it. And now that we're coming together as a group, the greatest fear they have is there's someone going to come out that's going to be like a Martin, et cetera, et cetera. That's their greatest fear.
What do you think of President Obama? Do you think he has been a great, model or a great, leader for minorities?
I see things that the average person didn't see, and I know things that the general public doesn't know because he can't advertise it. Mm-hmm. Trust me, he has done so much for people of color, but he can't broadcast it. I look at how he released the money to the farmers, the black farmers, after all them years when they won the case and they couldn't get their money. I look at how he gave these millions of dollars to the HBCUs. And a lot of little things that he did. So you got to realize little things grow up to be big things. It's like you were born as a baby and you grew up to be an adult. Mm-hmm. he's doing things that he can't put out in the media. The media is not going to report the greatness of what this man is doing. This gentleman, he's futuristic. I admit there's still a lot he could do. There's a lot more he could have done. But his hands were tied because after 2 years, it became a Republican Congress. And his first inauguration, they had a meeting saying whatever he says, whatever he does, the answer for us is always no.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm believing in the future it's going to come out his greatness. What he did is so great. Look, he gave everyone health insurance that no one was ever able to do. You know, I tell people I love George Bush for one reason. Because he was so dumb, so stupid, excuse what I'm saying, and so George Bush's, we would not have had a Barack Obama because we needed the brilliance of Barack Obama to become president behind the ignorance of the Bush. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, when the door closes, God opens that window. See, God saw the need that this country needed. And there was Barack Obama. Yes, he's a man of greatness. Yes, he could have done more. But he did more than what they give him credit for because they can't report it because of his skin tone. That's what we were marching for Saturday. Equality. See, there's a difference between integration and equality. Mm-hmm. And the difference being, see, integration is just a mixing of the races. Equality is giving everyone equal rights. We were fooled. We were bamboozled when they said, okay, we will integrate. Instead of us realizing what was going on, we should have said, we don't really have to have integration. Give us equality. And equality would have given us integration. But we settled for integration. Because now what happened was our parents, our grandparents, because I grew up in the South, in West Virginia. And everyone that came through my town that did stuff in my town was black just like me. Mm-hmm. The businesses were black just like me. Once we integrated, all of a sudden, the white businesses came in our town. White people started doing things, and they told the small business owners, you can now come and work for me. You can stand side by side with me and work with me. And we said, yes, boss. Not realizing that he hired you, so when your children grow up, and your child grow up and says, I need a job, he says, I didn't say I would hire you. I said, I didn't say I'd hire your son. I said I'd hire you. And then we forgot to teach our children entrepreneurship. See, people talk about unemployment. The problem being companies, corporations are opening up corporations in our neighborhoods. So how can there be jobs? So you say, I want a job. But until the companies come that give jobs, we can't get jobs. Entrepreneurship is the future of this country. Because you look at technical and the technology that's happening today, a third of the jobs that are available today, that are out there today, will not exist in 20 years because of technology. You have to learn how to be an entrepreneur and start and have your own business so you can build your legacy. And the legacy is when you build a company or a corporation where it will survive and suffice and take care of your children and your children's children and your children's children's children and et cetera, et cetera. That's what a legacy is. That's what we have to build. We got to stop thinking that everyone else's ice is colder than ours.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you propose, like minorities do? Do you propose that they go out and get a degree to, acquire these skills, or like what do you suggest?
Well, education.
Mhm.
Education right now is the new currency. It truly is. Go to college, go to university, get your degree, but don't get your degree to get a job. Or if you do, if you get hired by a corporation or a company, you learn everything that company does, why they do it, everything they know, and how they do it. So when you get those years under your belt, you can start your own. And you already got the blueprint on how to be successful.
Mhm.
So you don't go to a job and system and buck that system, because that system is successful. Learn the system. I do a program that's called BDI. BDI. It means borrow, duplicate, and improve upon it. BDI, borrow, duplicate, and improve upon it to fit your situation. So you look at what they're doing. You look at what these companies are doing. You borrow what they're doing. You take their information, their knowledge, you borrow it, and then you improve upon it to fit your situation so you can build and grow like they did. It's already out there written. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. All you do is improve upon it to fit your situation. That's what BDI means. And I teach that. That's one of the things I teach in the Mastermind, Millionaire Mastermind Institute.
Mhm. Yeah, I was
And
reading. It says that you teach the thought and action process to success.
Yes, what the Institute is, it's an institute for entrepreneurs and future entrepreneurs. We do business classes, empowerment sessions, workshops, anything dealing with business. See, our motto is we build millionaire mindsets and businesses. We take and teach you and show you the mindset. Because that's what we first do is we got to get your mind right. See, all the education in the world is useless if you got the wrong mindset. That's why everyone that has a degree doesn't survive, or everyone that's brilliant and educated doesn't survive. Only 5 to 8% of most businesses survive, and that's because they don't take the time to learn what it takes to operate and build a business to be successful. That's what we do. We take and teach you, because I have some of the most brilliant professors and educators in the Millionaire Mastermind Institute. All across this country, I got the most brilliant minds to educate you. A lot of my educators are millionaires, billionaires, and they explain to you how they did what they did. So all you got to do is BDI, and that's what the Institute is. Our people, see, we got to go back to the thing of having our own. If the sign now hiring excites you, you've got to change your mindset. It's your mindset that excites you behind a sign that says now hiring. Because if I'm paying you $10 an hour, how much do you think you're making me?
Millions.
That's what there it is.
Mm-hmm.
So once you learn business and how to build and grow your business, your legacy for your loved ones, your family members, and your friends, your neighborhood. See, here's the thing. The new thing now that I'm telling everyone, don't live to leave the hood. Live to learn how to buy the hood so you can build it and make it a livable place to live.
Mm-hmm.
We are the only people that take all of our money and give it to someone else, and they take it to their neighborhood. That's why come we have nothing.
Well, what do you hope will happen in the next 5 years?
That we come together as a people and realize that we don't need nobody. We can do it ourselves. That change your mentality. Go out there and do and attend. I'm not the only one that's out there doing what I do. I just happen to be one of the best known out there that do what I do, who took time to learn and pass it on to people to build and grow. I'm hoping that we do. Here's the thing. If we do this boycott that they're talking about for Christmas, because, here's the thing, for Christmas, every year, last year we spent $400 billion just for Christmas alone. People of color. What if we boycotted Christmas and we put that into us, our businesses, our neighborhood, buy homes? Because it's more people wealthy from real estate than any industry in America. Now, think about what I just said. Real estate has more people wealthy than any industry in America. We have to learn where to put our money. We got to learn about finances. We got to learn the thought and action process to success. We got to learn about marketing and branding. We got to learn about how to use social media. We have to learn about how to get our licensing, how to write grants so we can get some of that government money. The government got sitting there waiting on us to show them that we deserve it. We got to learn about sales. But you got institutions out there like the Millionaire Mastermind Institute that's doing that. If you say, if I'm doing a class, let's say, okay, now January 9th I'm doing a class. It's going to be an all-day session. And I bring all these brilliant people to teach you how to build a business. And when you leave there, you're going to have everything put together you need. You have your plans, and you're going to know about social media. You have your licensing and all that done. Mm-hmm. And I say I'm charging. Let's say hypothetically, I'm throwing a number out there just to make it easy. Let's say I do this class for $100 and it's all day long. And you say, well, no, I ain't got time. I can't go. I ain't going. $100 go to that class. What you're telling yourself and you're telling your God, your universe, is that your life and your business is not worth $10 an hour. Now you think about that. Just think about that. You're telling your universe, which is your God, because see, here's the thing. Everything in life that you want, that you are seeking, that you are working for, the universe, your God is working 10 times as hard to give it to you. But you're the one who has to put in the work. If your life and your business is not worth $10 an hour, the universe is not going to give it to you if you don't think so. You got to work toward it. You got to be it. See, 90% of all success is only showing up. That's 90%. Think about how powerful that is. Because here's the thing when I say I teach the thought and the action process to success. People don't realize how powerful your mind is. Your mind is the most powerful muscle, the strongest muscle in your body. Your mind, now, you can hear me. Am I correct? You can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
And you understand everything I'm saying?
Yes.
Every syllable makes a word. Mm-hmm. Every word put together with another word makes a sentence. Every sentence makes a paragraph, which makes a conversation. And you hear me, and you understand me instantly. Am I correct? Mm-hmm. Your mind travels 930,000 times faster than sound. Mm-hmm. Because it's taking everything I'm telling you, putting it into a language you understand, breaking it down into a meaning you understand, and it's still, through your vision, you can see everything around you all in a nanosecond. That's the power of your mind. That's why I'm going to tell you, if you think it, you can accomplish it. Okay. All you got to do is think you can. That's the power of your mind. That's why the thought is the most important thing, and how you think is the most important thing in your creation. your imagination, and ability to see your future. That's why I say, see, the president, and I think of him, great man, because he is a visionary. He does things, and he sees the future of what he's doing. Whether we see it now or realize it now, our children, our grandchildren will see it and reap the benefits of it. That's what the Millionaire Mastermind Institute is. I'm trying to give you your future because I'm seeing what we need for tomorrow, and I'm trying to give you that for tomorrow so you can build it. It's not a 4-year course. It's not a 2-year course. I got one coming up next weekend, the 24th.
Mm-hmm.
It's 3.5 hours. I have some that are 3 days. I'm gonna do next year. I'm gonna do also a 3-day resort, where it's gonna be a 3 days. Trust me, you gonna get sleep, but very little. We will be in a resort, no TVs, no telephones, nothing. Only strictly building your business, building your idea, from idea to implementation and beyond. We got to teach you that beyond, because you got to know what you're doing today that you're going to need done by tomorrow.
Okay. I completely understand, some of the points you were making, like the minorities, they have to seek an education, and we have to do better for ourselves as a whole. And I want to thank you for taking the time to come on to my show, and I hope that you have a great day, Mr. Murray.
Can I give them a way to reach me?
Yeah, sure.
If you're interested in some information concerning William Murray and the Millionaire Mastermind Institute, you can call me at 240-619-2019. Or you can go to our website, which is mminstitute.info. Now, here's the great thing about the Millionaire Mastermind Institute, because I met a gentleman at the march, and we've already booked to bring me to Mississippi. I met someone, they've already booked me to bring me to Alabama. We're mobile. Mm-hmm. We're mobile. We'll come to you. If you need me to come in to teach you and show you, and show your organization, your church, your university, anything, we're mobile. All you got to do is give us a call, and we'll work it out. Okay. We'll come to you.
Okay. Thank you for everything, and I'll be sure to keep in contact with you because I'm looking forward to what services you plan to do for the minorities. And
yeah, we have programs. I mean, it's just all you got to do, like I say, is show up.
Okay.
Put forth that effort. The university's going to give it to you.
All right. I'll be sure to do that. And like I said, I thank you for coming on the show, and I hope you have a great day, Mr. Murray.
I appreciate telling you, dear. God bless you. And you keep doing what you're doing, dear. Just keep doing what you're doing. And God bless you.
God bless.
Earlier yesterday, Shantae sat down with Curry Kasem, which is Casey Kasem's daughter. Casey Kasem, of course, the great American Top 40 legend. Here's the interview.
Oh, thank you so much. It was wonderful meeting you.
Yes.
I had a wonderful time at the radio show. I thought it was incredible, and I was so honored to get to speak to all of you guys out there. It was wonderful.
Yeah, so was it your first time at the radio show awards? Is that your first time being a speaker or a guest?
You know, it was my first time at the radio show, the NABRAB. That was my first time being a speaker there, but I speak around the country, dealing with, everything with what happened to my dad, how to protect yourself, your will and estate plans. So yeah, because what's happened to me, when I was blocked from seeing my dad by his wife, most people, they don't have the money to fight it. It costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to take somebody to court and say, hey, they're doing something wrong. And most people don't even have the $5,000 or $10,000 it takes to retain a lawyer, much less the hundreds of thousands of dollars it takes to fight just to see your sick parent. So I've gone around the states here around the USA and said, things have got to change. This is wrong. I get hundreds of letters from people that can't see their mom or dad, their dying mom or dad, because of a caretaker, whether it's the person they're married to or another sibling or just simply somebody they hired to take care of them that literally will take them and block you from seeing them. They'll literally isolate that individual until they die. And it's a horrible thing, and it happens all the time. So I'm going around fighting it. So far, I've gotten a bill passed in California, Texas, and Iowa that stops a lot of that isolation and elder abuse.
Yeah, so what do you plan to do in an effort to make this law legal in all 50 states?
You have to go individually. And what I did in August, I went to a conference in Washington called the National Association of State Legislators, the National Conference of State Legislators, where 8,000 to 10,000 state legislators from all over the country came. So what we did was we set up a booth there. Kasem Cares Foundation set up a booth, and we just passed out our legislation to everybody. I think we got it in 100 different people's hands from different states across, the U.S. So we've now signed on quite a lot of other states, which I'm very excited about.
So you said that you pretty much had a booth set up and you were just handing out the bill, correct?
Yeah, we would hand out the bill. We would talk and educate people about what we do, about what Kasem Cares does, about how we help, our educational programs. We talk about it, and people know. Most people knew about what happened to my dad, Kasem. Most people knew that, and they would come and say, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and they didn't realize I was fighting to get, to change the law. So it was interesting. I just sat and I talked to people about what I knew what was going on. Most people had no idea. I'm talking senators, state representatives, assemblymen, did not know that you could not ask a judge for a visitation to a parent. They didn't grant it, because if they're married and they have a spouse or they have a guardian or somebody taking care of them, that person has all the rights. They can literally, and this can happen to anyone, anybody who's listening out there, this can happen to your parents.
Yes.
The caretaker, spouse, guardian, whoever it is that's taking care of your sick parent can say, you can't come into this house and you'll never see your parent again, and the police will protect that, and Adult Protective Services will protect that too, because they're living in someone's house or their own house, so they can say you're trespassing. If they're in a hospital or a nursing home, it's a bit different, but they can still try and stop you from seeing your parents. And it happens every day. People die. You'll see people in nursing homes with no visitors. That's because the caretaker or guardian will say no visitors, literally, and hide them in nursing homes. We have letters every single day. It's so horrible what is done to the elderly in the United States. It's horrible.
Yes, I completely agree, because as I told you when I met you during the radio show, that my grandmother, she's currently in a nursing home. She's unable to talk. She's unable to eat. She's unable to speak. She doesn't remember me or remember anyone in our family for that matter. And because my family has very busy lives, or I don't know, maybe they're not even stable enough to even take care of her because of their life situations or their addictions. Me, being 21 myself, I would love to care for her, because I actually care for my grandmother. My grandmother recently had a stroke, and she was actually married. Actually, she's still married. And it's kind of sad because her husband does not visit her at all. So she's under our care 24/7. And my mom,
that's too bad. It happens so much, but you know what? I'm so glad you're taking care of her. And I remember you telling me about your grandma, and I told you to read a book. There's a book called Grain Brain by Dr. Perlmutter. It's amazing. It's amazing what it talks about how to prevent, Alzheimer's and dementia. And you don't understand the food that you're eating will cause your brain. You will lose your mind. Continue to eat the way you do, and it's grains and processed food and all this stuff is literally, this is why we have this huge boom in dementia and Alzheimer's and Lewy body dementia and even Parkinson's dementia. It's a scary figure how many of us could end up losing our minds as we get older, and it's because of the food we are eating, the sugar, the processed food, and the grains. So Grain Brain, and if you have a history of it in your family, it is so important to stop it now before it gets there, because it's hard to stop it and slow it down, but there's ways to do it through food. Because unfortunately, a lot of dementia is diagnosed improperly. Like my dad was first diagnosed with Parkinson's dementia, and he didn't have Parkinson's dementia. He had Lewy body, and the medicine for Parkinson's can actually make Lewy body dementia worse. So, it's very hard to detect what kind of dementia it is. And a lot of times, doctors will just put these elderly people on antipsychotics, which makes them literally drool.
Yes.
And have no personality, and they can't do anything, instead of feeding them high doses of coconut oil. We have nurses that do case studies with taking people off the medication. Now, this has to be approved, of course, by a nurse or doctor, but getting people off those antipsychotics and feeding them, doses of coconut oil, getting them off the sugar, getting them off processed food, and watching them come back to life. Literally.
That's
come
amazing.
Back to where they're talking and recognize you. So there's ways to do it, and Dr. Perlmutter, Grain Brain, is fantastic. You can also look up coconut oil and how important that is for your brain. And even if you don't have dementia, just to change everything, instead of using butter, instead of using oils and margarine, change everything to coconut oil, and how much your memory will improve, and your brain will improve.
Yeah, I mean, I heard that coconut oil is good for lots of things.
Lots, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I've heard that before. But I don't know, I'm kind of worried myself in a way, because I don't want me to turn out like both of my parents.
Yeah. Yeah, and they'll say it's genetic. I don't believe that. I'm not a doctor, but I don't believe that, because I believe the food that we have been eating in this country is killing us. And you can see that by the fact that we have candy bars and sugar and chocolate chocolate milk and peanut butter and jelly given to our kids in schools. And that is, I mean, now that kids are eating all this sugar, their brains can't work. And what do we do with kids whose brains don't work? We put them on methamphetamine. We put them on Adderall, instead of saying, whoa, they shouldn't be eating Frosted Flakes in the morning along with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and some chocolate milk. You think your kid can focus? No way. You think that's brain food? No way. And if you start young with a bad diet like that, just think what it's going to do to your brain when you get older. It's food. It's the food, and people don't wake up because, unfortunately, the sugar companies have so much money into the politicians and into, Michelle Obama tried to do this. I love her. She tried to tell the country, get your kids off sugar. You know what happened to her? Coca-Cola came down on her. The sugar industry came down on her. There's a movie, it's a great film. It's called Fed Up.
I've never heard of it.
Fed Up. It shows what they did to Michelle Obama. It shows what the sugar cover-up. Because they know that's causing diabetes. They know it's causing, your inability to think, and what they call ADD and ADHD. I was told I had ADD. And when I got off the sugar and processed food, guess what? I didn't have ADD anymore. My brain worked just fine. Mm-hmm. So I don't believe in that. So you got to start young, because if you don't want the dementia and getting Alzheimer's and issues like Parkinson's with dementia, or Lewy bodies like my dad, you've got to get healthy now. And Grain Brain is a phenomenal book. It really is. It will. I think, especially since I don't know if it's genetic. I don't believe that all of it is genetic. But Shantae, I think if you have that in your family, you should read that book. I do.
Yeah, I know that diabetes is definitely in my family. And also a history of strokes is definitely in my family. So sometimes I worry, like, maybe I should change my diet. But here at my university and here in this country in general, if you notice that the most healthiest foods are expensive. Like, healthy food is expensive compared to the junk food and the unhealthy food. And even in my campus. Yeah, but there's movies out there that show you that that's not true. Unfortunately, there are, like, Whole Foods, which is ridiculously expensive. You find these really health food places that raise the prices for no reason. And
Of course, some things that have to be imported and some organic stuff. I understand it. But there's a guy named Joe Cross who did a movie called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. This is a great movie. He did two of them. His first one's Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, and the other one's Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead too. He shows you how to be healthy from Walmart, on a Walmart diet. He shows you how to go green, how to completely detoxify your body, and how to lose weight, how to stay healthy in Walmart on just a few dollars a day. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. So watch that, because then you won't complain about the money anymore.
I mean, even at my school, like, there's very limited options here. I actually did a study on it for my magazine writing class, and they are doing some renovations for next semester. So that's really good.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's really good. So I'm happy about that.
Good for you.
Yeah, and
Awesome.
aside from that, you said like you mentioned earlier that you pretty much set up a booth to make people aware of the bill and make people aware of what you are doing. Do you plan on adding like brand ambassadors such as college students, maybe to get the word out there, and maybe you guys can go to various events throughout the country and try to promote the bill?
Absolutely.
And
we
try
have
to promote
now from colleges working with us. And we have accredited programs, so you get credits from school. We definitely want to do that and spread our wings. Now, remember, we're a brand new foundation. And it's really an organization, KSM Cares. We'll be 2 years old in November.
That's great.
So we want to do all of that. Brand ambassadors, we want to have chapters of KSM Cares in every single state, in every city. So we have a 5-year plan that is going to be, it's going to be amazing what we're going to do for the elderly and seniors in this country. And also, just like I'm telling you, how to prevent, the memory loss, how to prevent or at least slow down some of these diseases that are so horrible and so scary that people think when they're young, they don't even think about it. They don't think it can happen to them. And it can.
You're right.
It's very important to get the word out there.
You're right. As a young person myself, we don't really think of the consequences for what we do now that can happen, in the future. We really don't think about that.
No, I didn't. I didn't when I was your age. I never thought about it ever. So you don't feel like anything can happen to you, and at your age, what really doesn't happen to you. But what's scary is diabetes and our memory issues people are getting younger and younger and younger with them because of how bad we're eating, because of our diet. So, 21 is so young. So you really don't have a lot to worry about for a while, but, it will happen if you don't take care of yourself now.
Yeah, I know. I always say this every New Year that I'm going to change my diet, but I can say that I drink water every day.
Good.
So that's something
wonderful.
good. Yes. Yeah. But I definitely have to incorporate some veggies and some fruits into my diet because I don't do that
Grain
often.
Brain. I'm telling you, Shantae, you've got to do it. Read this book, Grain Brain. It will change your life. Even if you don't decide to, change your whole complete diet, it will help you understand what is causing certain things in your brain and in your body, like the inflammation and everything. It's amazing. I'm telling you, once you read that book, you're going to tell all your friends. You have to read this.
Yeah, maybe I can find it online, like an ebook or something.
Yeah, online. Amazon has it. You could probably get a used copy. Not very expensive at all. It's a phenomenal book.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna look at it after our interview or after my show ends. But since we're talking about about us eating healthier and changing our diet, do you think that maybe you could create some sort of program that sort of encourages students or people in general to eat healthier? And maybe you can incorporate that into the KSM Cares Foundation or something like that.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Absolutely, to talk about the prevention, because that's something we're going to do, is really talk about preventing some of the diseases that can be prevented or slowed down, at least, with diet. And definitely something we want to do is prevention. Not only prevention for elder abuse and helping seniors, but really starting out young and preventing it there. So for sure, that would be something that we would do down the road. Absolutely. Because right now we're still focused on the education part of really getting out there what the warning signs are of isolation, what the warning signs are of elder abuse, and really getting people to focus on that. Because right now, it's like, domestic violence 30 years ago, you didn't hear about it. Nobody cared about it, even 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, yeah, that's just, that's a lover's quarrel. That's not, the police don't need to get involved. It wasn't a big deal. Now, you hear domestic violence, people lose their jobs over it, lose their, everything. People come down on that hard. It's a huge thing. Child abuse 20, 30 years ago wasn't where it's at now. So now we're looking at elder abuse, and nobody said, oh, okay, it's not a big deal. People don't even care. They don't know about it. So the biggest thing we're doing right now is creating huge awareness about elder abuse and the signs to look for. So, and then all those programs will come, the prevention, and we're doing a conference in April. We're going to go from April 21st to the 23rd. It's going to be in Anaheim or Orange County, California, near Disneyland, and it's going to be accredited. So, like, students can come, and nurses, doctors, people that need continuing education credits. And we're going to do this, 2.5-day seminar about, a lot, everything dealing with senior issues, aging, and prevention. So I'm very, very excited about that. And if you want to know more and your audience wants to know more, you can go to agingandeducation.com, agingandeducation.com, or KSMCares.org or .com, and it'll take you there too.
Yeah, I was already on the KSM Cares Foundation, and I pretty much know a little bit about it. But for those who don't know, can you tell us all the services that KSM Cares Foundation offers to the elderly community?
Right now, we're doing the conference that will help all the nurses and the doctors and the caretakers understand and see the flags of elder abuse and what they need to watch for, what they need to look for. Because a lot of these people can be, they'll have to be mandated reporters. Meaning, if they see these signs, they have to tell the police. They have to tell, hey, look, this is going on. So the conference is going to help with that. The conference is going to help also with the food and what you can do if you're taking care of an elderly person. What's the best thing to do? What's the best kind of medications? What do especially if you're somebody who takes care of, someone with memory loss. What can you do to help them? Also, we have Adopt a Grandparent. That's coming out. We're going to have that next month, and especially for the holidays, for Thanksgiving and Christmas. So you can sign up to Adopt a Grandparent, and you go in, and you can go sit with somebody, once a week, twice a week, just kind of put a little smile on their face, give them some company. Because there's a lot of seniors that don't get visited at nursing homes.
That's very true.
They're in their wheelchair.
That's very true. I used to work at a nursing home. Nursing home, and I witnessed the abuse and all of that. And I witnessed people not even feeding them, not bathing them, and family not visiting them. So it's actually really sad. And I think that this is like really great that you're doing this, because it really does need to change. And I think there also should be a law to punish those who abuse these elderly people. Do you think maybe you can incorporate that into the bill or get a different bill?
Well, that's what, that's the thing. If the bill had that we're going to punish the people that are doing this, they would never let you see your parent.
Oh.
That was, whoever it is. So what we want to do is just get that visitation. Then afterward, you can go after them. But right now, nobody really, unfortunately, is not punished. Isolation is not punished. The only time, a DA or the police or the Adult Protective Services really goes after somebody is if that person is lying on the floor, starving to death, bloody, beaten, or not been cleaned up. It's the worst of the worst cases. It's the 1% that really are really abused, and you can see it. Nobody takes isolation seriously, although the studies have shown, and a study just came out, I think it was Cambridge, did a study that if somebody is isolated and alone and is not with his family, or they don't have anybody giving them any love, attention, if they're alone, they die 50% faster than sick loved ones, and especially with memory issues, that have that support and that love. So it kills just as much as physical abuse. But we have to make people aware of that, so it starts to be prosecuted as a crime.
Yeah, because I feel as though if there's no crime against abusers, it will keep happening. I mean, I'm not saying that it's ever going to stop, but I think that if there's a law against the abusers, then it can decrease elderly abuse in a way. Just like your stepmother. I think that she should have been, punished for, whatever she did to your father. So I feel as though, like, if there's a law, it definitely can decrease elderly abuse.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. There needs to be harsher punishment so people think twice about doing it, that know they're going to be prosecuted. You're right. It would stop so many people from abusing. But first, we have to start with our first step, and that's getting the laws passed so that loved ones can see their parents. And then once we start making it people aware that this is happening all over the country to thousands of people, I think that, the police and the court system are going to take this more seriously.
Okay. Yeah, I completely agree. And how can people help?
Help people? Very good question. Thank you for asking. Go to kasemcares.org or .com. Either way, we'll get there. It's KASEM, CARES, CARES, kasemcares.org, and you can sign a petition. It says, I want elder abuse to stop, and I will stand up for that. And it'll take you 30 seconds. It's just a quick petition. It says, I think if you go to, I'm going to go right now, to Kasem Cares, it's in a big red button right on the front. Also, if you're going through this, if you're going through the same thing, you're being isolated from a loved one, then please share your story. But it says take the pledge. If you go to Kasem Cares, it says take the pledge, hit that, and just sign up. And you can share it with your Twitter followers, your Facebook followers, and anybody, anywhere, and any social media that you have. And it's really important because we go to different lawmakers, and when they say we don't need this bill, I put down hundreds of letters on their desk, and I say, and here's a petition. And every single time they change their mind and they take the bill. So every single pledge and every single letter counts.